50 boats are moving quickly towards Gaza, in which, from many countries of the world, 500 people were riding, which included politicians, activists, and even Hollywood actors. Hearts on board raced faster than the waves below. Courage flowed thicker than fear that night. The fleet became a floating cry for justice. But even before reaching Gaza, attacks were done on these boats by others. Storms of bullets could not drown their mission. The night echoed with the clash of steel and screams. Every wave that struck the hull whispered resistance. And as soon as these boats reached very close to Gaza, Israel's army turned all these boats towards Israel's city, Ashdod, instead of Gaza, and arrested all of them. Chains fell upon the boats, but not upon the spirit. Arrests chained their bodies, but their voices broke free. Former Minister Mushtaq Ahmed and Great Hashtenberg, including more than 200 individuals, were arrested. Because of which, today protests are happening all over the world. Every protest worldwide was an aftershock of that night. Their courage became fuel for thousands more to rise. But this is not the first flotilla that Israel has arrested like this. Before this also, 10 flotillas have been arrested in the same way. But finally, where did all these flotillas come from? And mostly, who is the mastermind of these flotillas? The story of this flotilla starts with one man, Australia's Michael Sheikh. 20 years ago from today, when he went from Australia towards Palestine for the first time, and upon reaching there, he was shocked to see how Israel had surrounded Gaza from all sides and was killing the Palestinians there with hunger and thirst. These are the faces of hunger in Gaza. Therefore, upon reaching Palestine, and started raising his voice for them all over the world. But when Israel's prime minister found out about all this, he caught Michael Sheikh and put him in an Israeli jail. Now, Michael Sheikh himself says in his interview that after going to jail, he was only sad about one thing, that now, no matter what happens, Israel will never give him permission to come to Palestine again. So now Michael Sheikh, sitting in his jail, started thinking. Take a loo, think. And thinking and thinking. Finally, a very brilliant idea came to his mind, a global flotilla. Flotilla is a Spanish word, which means a small group of boats. Michael Sheikh thought, Israel will not give me permission to come to Palestine. But if we gather people from all over the world and go towards Palestine in boats, then even Israel's father won't be able to stop us. But if it stops us, then this matter will spread all over the world, and Israel's cruelty will be exposed. But now the question is, where did such a strange idea come to his mind? Actually, this was not a new idea at all. Rather, even before this, a very big flotilla had already happened during World War II. As soon as World War II started, Germany's Hitler's power was increasing rapidly, and he was attacking one country after another. For the first time, it seemed that now finally the great British Empire would kneel down before Germany's Hitler. Because of which, the morale in the British Empire was broken. So much so that even the British Prime Minister also resigned, being scared of Hitler. But as soon as he resigned, now the world situation was about to change. Because a new Prime Minister came to the British Empire whose name was Churchill, making war upon you. But as soon as Churchill became Prime Minister, at that time, his 400,000 soldiers were standing on Germany's border. Seeing this, Hitler attacked this army with his full force and surrounding this entire army, started pushing them back. Finally, Hitler pushed them so much that they reached a beach while retreating. Dunkirk. Now Churchill's 400,000 soldiers were completely trapped because in front of them stood Hitler's 800,000 soldiers, and behind them was only and only the sea. And of course, German jets started dropping bombs on them. Seeing this, Churchill started begging America for help. But when America clearly refused to help him, Churchill had become completely hopeless. And he had only one last hope left, his country's common people. Helplessly, Churchill announced everywhere that whoever has any boat should take it and go towards the war and bring our soldiers back from there, which was a very strange thing. But the British people stood up on their leader's voice and set off towards the war with their boats, without weapons, to save their brothers. And from here, the concept of flotilla came into the world for the first time. These common people entered the middle of the war and saved their soldiers and brought them back to Britain. And in this way, the world's first flotilla saved 350,000 soldiers out of 400,000 soldiers, which is still called a miracle today. Therefore, now when Michael Sheikh was sitting in an Israeli jail, the idea of this same flotilla came to his mind. After which, as soon as he was free, he started working on this same plan and started collecting money from all over the world for the flotilla's boats. And finally, in 2008, he had collected so much money that he set off towards Palestine with just 2 boats filled with food and drink items. After this first flotilla, this news spread all over the world. Waves carried their story far beyond Gaza's shores, in which they had the full support of Turkey's Erdogan, meaning the small idea of a man sitting in jail had now become a global movement, which, looking at it, seems like this flotilla was of no benefit. But it is not like that, because as soon as this flotilla was arrested, this news spread like fire all over the world. And all over the world, protests started happening against Israel. When the world stayed silent, the sea spoke for Gaza. The sea became witness, the sky became judge. History remembers not the force, but the resistance. And the biggest thing is that it is said that planning for the next flotilla has already started. And if that happens, then it will not only be bigger than this one, but it will be the biggest flotilla in history, even bigger than World War. And as long as such people are alive in the world, but we are happy that we take Gaza, Israel's, always gets exposed. Subscribe